Hello everyone and welcome back. I ran my first 10k. It was my first ever running race that I've ever done. I thought that I would do a video on my 10k, how I got into running, how I started training, and how I felt like the race itself went on the day. I'm definitely really into my running at the moment, and I really enjoy watching videos about running and just following people from all different types of abilities, and everyone is at a different stage in the running journey, and I just find it really interesting and really inspiring as well. So I thought that I would throw my experience into the mix and start kind of documenting my running journey. So I really hope that you enjoy. If you are new, my name is Millie and I do beauty videos and the occasional lifestyle and routine video as well. This video is obviously very much in that occasional lifestyle category. I don't think I've ever spoken about running really on my channel, so yeah, here we go. If you enjoy, don't forget to hit the thumbs up button and subscribe if you're not already, and let's get into it. So I guess I'll start with like a huge disclaimer. I am a beginner runner. I have absolutely no qualifications in, you know, fitness, physical health, nutrition, but I wanted to just share my own experience. I find it really inspiring watching other people and how people got into running and just following their journey. Hopefully this video will be a bit of an insight into my experience, potentially inspiring, I don't know. I definitely feel like there's a lot of negativity around running and it being quite trendy, kind of online, and you know, everyone kind of jumping on the running bandwagon, etc. And I would say, like, if there is ever a trend that promotes looking after your physical and mental health, like, sign me up, I am there. Do not feel silly, do not feel stupid for starting running because you feel like everyone's doing it and it's a bit of a fad. It's your fitness and health at the end of the day, so do not feel like you're silly or like people are judging you. Just do you. You do you. How I got into running. I was never a runner growing up. I was a swimmer. That was my sport. That was what I did in high school and university. I was just, yeah, not a runner. I never really ran. I did go through a very small period, probably when I was like 17, 18. Me and my best friend did a 10k mud run. So yes, it was a 10k, but it was very different. It was a mud run. You were kind of doing like challenges and different obstacles throughout the run. So it wasn't like you're just running for 10k straight. And then after I did that, I just never really got back into it. At university, again, I was in the swim team. So we did do a tiny bit of running as part of some of like the weekly kind of training sessions. If you kind of do any sport, like, I don't want to say properly, that sounds a bit weird, but if you're part of a team and you have a coach and things like that, you will know that your weeks aren't just built up of, you know, being in the pool day in and day out. Like, you do other types of workouts, you do strength training and other things to just help prepare your body for race day. So I did do a tiny bit of running when I was on the swim team, but nothing, again, nothing wild, nothing crazy. And then fast forward to April time this year, I'd started to follow more of the kind of hybrid fitness athletes. Lucy Davis, Holly Brooks, those were the kind of two main girls who really inspired me. There was a few from Australia as well. Connor Kathleen is an Australian kind of hybrid athlete, and she does a lot of running. So yeah, there was a lot of people that kind of started to do this kind of hybrid training. I was already weight training a couple of times a week in the gym, and I was doing my spin class as well once a week, which I've done for like 2 years, and I absolutely love spin. So I thought that I would incorporate running into the mix as well somehow. And I would say at this point I didn't really have any particular goal in mind. I just plotted out some routes around where I live, and I just kind of went for it. I didn't, like I say, didn't have a goal in mind. I was just using Strava on my phone. I didn't have like an Apple Watch or a Garmin or anything like that to actually track my runs as I was running. I would just hit that record button on Strava and then I wouldn't even look at my phone. Idea what my pace was or how kind of far I was going until I had reached the end of my run. And that was fine. I think for me that was a good way to just get into running. I also love where I live and there's some really nice running routes along the river that kind of goes through the city, and it's just really lovely. So that helps. At least that helps me anyway, to have nice surroundings that I actually look forward to running in, and oftentimes there's other runners around as well, so that's really nice and motivating. And yeah, that was how I got into running. I wasn't tracking anything, I wasn't aiming for any kind of you know, specific pace or anything like that. I was just like, here's a 5k route, let's just run it and see what happens. So I did that for like a month, 2 months, and then I thought I'm gonna sign up to a local 5k or 10k. I'll see what's available, see what's around. And so I was just kind of having a little look, and there was a 10k race that was just outside of the city, and it was at the end of August, and I thought, okay, that's probably a good amount of time to, you know, have a good amount of training and to build myself up to actually be able to run this 10k. So I signed up for my 10k and that was that. And then it came to training for my 10k, and I was going to Australia for a few weeks. So when I came back, I had 8 weeks of 10k training. So I used Runner for my training. This is not sponsored. I know a lot of runners are sponsored by Runner. This is from a completely non-sponsored. I paid for it myself, I'm still paying for it, and just my honest thoughts on using the app, again from a beginner's perspective who really didn't know anything about pacing or you know, how to incorporate long runs, tempo runs, interval runs, all of these different things. I really had no idea. So yes, I signed up to Runner when I got back from Australia, and I think I had at that point 8 weeks. That was my kind of training block before my 10k. So I signed up with Runner. I cannot recommend this app enough. I cannot see a point in my life where I am running consistently and I'm not using this app, because it truly is incredible if you are new to running and you just don't know how to structure your workouts effectively. I needed something a bit more structured, and workouts that were really going to help me achieve my goals. And yeah, Runner is amazing. They have loads of different plans. You can personalize them based on if you have a distance goal. So let's say you're running 10k or a half marathon, whatever the distance is, you can do like maintenance plans. And they also have recovery plans. So that's what I'm doing at the moment post my 10k. So I started with Runner and it was really great. Had no idea about interval runs, tempo runs, long runs, easy runs. It was just all very new to me. Got your tail in the background. What are you doing? It was really great to just have everything there and planned out for me. It also syncs to your Strava. I did get a Garmin watch as well, and all of the workouts sync to your watch, so you don't have to like memorize the session before you go out and start running. Winnie, your bum is literally in the way. So you don't have to like memorize your runs before you go out. It's all there. It tells you what paces you need to hit. It will buzz if you're going too fast, if you're going too slow. It will tell you when you finished your warm-up and when you need to start your cool down and stuff like that. So it really does just take all of the guesswork out of training, and I really love that. So I have the Garmin Forerunner. I wanted one, or I needed one that I could use for swimming as well, and this one is waterproof, so that's why I went for this one. There are like proper triathlete washes, I was gonna say, watches and things like that, but I'm a beginner still. I just wanted something that would just work when I'm running, when I'm swimming. I don't need like the most complex features in the world. Yeah, I really love my watch. Yeah, I go on about my watch all the time. I love it. My poor boyfriend, who has to listen to me like going through my daily stats and my watch features on the daily basis. Yeah, I don't think he really cares, but you know, bless him for trying. And then the 10k race itself, quite nervous. The longest distance that I had ran as part of the runner plan was 9 kilometers, and I think I did that in about 58, 59 minutes or something around that mark. So I felt happy with that. And I was like, okay, if I can replicate that, just add on the extra kilometer at the end, I will be really happy with that effort. Yeah, race day, it could have gone better. It really could have gone better. I felt like I really struggled. And one of the things I was worried about was keeping my heart rate low. I don't know what it is, but when I'm running, my heart rate just spikes like instantly. Even if I'm not kind of overexerting myself, you know, I'm not running at like a super speedy pace or anything like that. When I'm biking, I don't really get heart rate spikes. I can control my heart rate. It doesn't really go above 50, 150. Oh my God, above 50. I think that's just death, isn't it really? Yeah, it doesn't really go above 150. When I'm swimming, it's a bit higher than that. I would say I'm in the kind of 150 to 160 zone. But that's because obviously when you're swimming, half of the time you physically cannot breathe. So, you know, it is harder to get oxygen into your body when you're swimming, because obviously half the time you physically can't breathe. But when I'm running, my heart rate is like 170, but like as an average. I don't know if it's just because I'm new to running and I've not built up my aerobic fitness, even though when I bike, when I swim, you know, I'm kind of in the heart rate zone of like 2 and 3. If you don't know about heart rate zones, again, I am not qualified in the slightest to talk about this, to tell you what they are. I will leave some resources down below if you want to find out what your heart rate zones are. Oh, Winnie's tail. Your tail. Oh yeah. Oh, lovely. Come. You have a big bushy tail, which is just really annoying. Yes. We'll have some resources linked below, some videos that explain the different heart rate zones, because it is obviously, you know, personal to what your max heart rate is and things like that. So for me, when I'm biking, when I'm swimming, I can stay within the zones like 2 to 4. When I'm running, my heart rate is consistently in zone 5, which is like the max effort. And again, I'm not even going that fast. I'm not like completely overexerting myself. Something that I was quite conscious about going into it, and something that I knew I wanted to try and control a bit better. So yeah, so race day, fine. I think I made the assumption, and wrongly so, that the adrenaline of race day and the environment and just everyone around me, you know, running with a big group of people would like all of a sudden mean that I would run like a sub 50 10k, even though I've never run a 10k before in my life. So I kind of thought that I was gonna be like some kind of friggin' elite athlete, because I had adrenaline pumping through me. So that was my bad, and that definitely did me more harm than good, I think. So when I started out, the first 5 kilometers were pretty good. They went by really fast. I was averaging like a 6:20 pace, which for me, again, being a beginner runner, that is quite fast for me, and that is absolutely not sustainable when doing a 10k. Again, I thought, oh, I'll be fine because I'll have the adrenaline, you know, people around me, and I'll just like fly through the course. No. My body was like, no, okay, like get back down to earth. That is not what is going to happen. I then got to like the 6k mark and I just tanked. I didn't like the terrain on the course. Here I am making excuses for myself. Yeah, I went out way too hard, and halfway through I went into like panic mode and I was like, oh my God, this is so hard. I'm really struggling. My heart rate was then like spiking because I was panicking, and I was in this like anxious state of, oh my God, I'm not going to be able to keep running for the remainder of the 10k. Like I had 5k left and I was really struggling. My pace slowed right down. I did walk a couple of times. There was like some bridges, so let the incline to get up to the bridge and, you know, back down. Those bits I walked because like any slight incline at that point would have just killed me off. And yeah, I did the whole race in like 1 hour and 9 minutes, and my average pace was 6:58, I think. So I'm actually quite proud of that. The second half was definitely not my best effort. I could have paced myself better. There is no such thing as too slow. And I think when running, like if you see people running out and about, you never know what stage in their running journey they're in. You never know what kind of distance training they've done. You don't know if they're coming off the back of an injury. Like you just don't know anyone's individual circumstances. So there is no such thing as running too slow, and I was really proud of myself that I completed it. It was my first 10k. I have that benchmark now, so I can only make improvements from there. And working on my aerobic fitness is definitely the next step for me. So yeah, that was my 10k. It was definitely really hard, and I think when you are a beginner and you do that first race, whether it's like a 5k, a 10k, or if you go for like a half marathon or a marathon, you know, that first time that you're doing that is really hard, because doing it in a race environment versus just out and about, like it did feel different, and I did feel a bit more pressure to keep to a really good pace, even though I knew in my training I hadn't been able to sustain that in the past. So why was I trying? Why was I trying to maintain like a 6:20 pace for an hour? Yeah, it was a bit silly of me. What did I learn? What are my next steps? I've signed up for a half marathon in March. And I feel like I have a lot of work to do before we get to that point. I need to work on my aerobic fitness, as I said. So the next month I'm going to focus on heart rate zone training. So that's basically working on my aerobic fitness, getting my heart rate under control, getting my breathing under control when I'm running. I know I can do it. I've done it for swimming, I've done it for biking. I know that I can control my heart rate and not kind of feeling like I'm constantly like maxing out. And then towards the end of the year, I will then start my half marathon training block. I'm using Runner at the moment, so I'm actually doing a recovery plan. So it's not, I don't know if they have specific like heart rate zone training. They might do, but yeah, when I finished my 10k, I just signed up to their race recovery plan, which is just 3 weeks, and it basically just focuses on moderate distances, like 5, 6, 7 kilometers. That for me is moderate. Again, that is all relative, but yeah, it focuses on those kind of distances and at a slower pace as well. So I've been trying to use those runs to keep my heart rate within zone 3 and 4, just try and get it down a little bit. So I did my first 5k run yesterday, so that was Saturday, so that would have been a week after my 10k. Every time my heart rate reached 170, I would just stop, I would walk to slow my heart rate down, and then I would pick up again. And I'm hoping, I don't know if that's the best way to train in terms of keeping your heart rate low. I don't know, I'm gonna have to do some more research. Yeah, I've heard that even if you do have to stop and walk to get your heart rate down, it will pay off in the long run and you will be able to sustain those long distances. Yes, that was my 10k experience. I will try and document more of my running journey, I think. Picked up swimming again, and yeah, I'm kind of doing a lot of different types of training throughout the week, and it's videos that I really like to watch. So yes, perhaps you'll see a bit more of those types of videos on my channel. I don't know if there's anything else. Oh, in terms of like gear, all the gear, no idea, that's literally me. And kind of what I wore, my trainers, etc. My trainers that I have are the Asics Nova Blast 3. I really like them. They're really like bouncy and padded. It's quite a good all-round shoe. I did a lot of research when it came to buying running shoes because they are expensive, and I really wanted to make sure that I was getting the right pair for me and the kind of distances and terrain that I run on. I didn't need a speed shoe. I would like to try a speed shoe just to see what the difference actually is, but yeah, I just wanted a really good all-rounder. So the Asics Nova Plus 3 are the ones that I have, and I would really recommend them. I didn't have my Garmin watch, so this is the, I think the Forerunner 55. It's kind of like the entry-level watch. Again, it's waterproof, which was one of the main criteria that I had before I was using my boyfriend's Apple Watch for running, because again, I could sync my runner and my Strava to the watch, which was really helpful. But you can't use that for swimming because it's not waterproof. So yes, the Garmin, really love this. It has all of the kind of just basic features that I need. And then yeah, I do have a running belt, which is just from Amazon, which I use for training. I don't have a running vest, but I think when I start my half marathon training, I will invest. I'm so lame. I will invest in a running vest because I will need to take water and potentially gels and stuff like that with me. I have also heard that keeping hydrated can really help your heart rate to just be a bit more balanced. So I'm going to try that. I'm going to try running with a running vest and packing some water with me and just seeing if that'll help. So yes, that is my running journey. That was my 10K. If you are still here watching, thank you very much. I know this is very different from my usual content, but I don't know, it's just the season of life I'm in at the moment, and that's what I want to share. I want to be authentic on here. I want to share what I'm interested in. I want to share what hobbies I'm doing, and at the moment, fitness and running and swimming and all of these different things are a really big part of my life at the moment. So I hope you enjoyed. If you did, don't forget to hit the thumbs up button and subscribe if you're not already, and I will see you in my next one. Bye.